All this Polo Cup action is proudly brought to you by Falken Tires and their associate sponsors. Welcome to round 4 action of the Falken Polo Cup here at Aldo, Scribante, the home of Volkswagen Motorsport. It's the Volkswagen race day, and you won't be any better than Falken Polo Cup on that race day, because we've got 22 cars about to go and do battle. And the front end of this battle, of course, is led by Jeff Kruger, the championship leader. He's been closed down by Brad Liebenberg, who's looking to close that gap down pretty much the entire time today, because we've got 3 races here today as well. But Chris Shorter could be the spoiler there and never ever take out of the equation Jonathan Machotsi, particularly at Volkswagen's home ground. Before we go racing though, let's head down to Kelso, Scribante, and see what Volkswagen Motorsport and Michael Stephen Racing have got for us with a little fun initiative that they had planned on Thursday.
Desiree from VW Motorsport contacted me and said, can't we put a bit of a corporate event together? And it's fantastic to see, and it's well supported. Guys from Polo Cup, GDC, just out here having some fun, pre-race fun, a little bit of team camaraderie, but as well as getting the mechanics, supporters involved, having some fun.
Fun, sure. As soon as those visors go down, the red mist descends and there's no more fun. Let's find out from Desiree Merkel what this is all about.
The whole point of today is to have a lot of fun, but I think deep down inside, it's extremely competitive. They have even told me that they want to make their own teams up, and they've got team names, and everything seems to be sorted, so yeah, let them go and have some fun today.
Well, as you can see from that, it's not always all about the seriousness about the sport. The fun aspect has to be brought in at some point, and a great initiative there from Volkswagen Racing and Michael Stephen Racing as well, to get the guys out there to have some fun on the kart circuit. But the fun is now done. It's time to go racing and get this weekend underway. And they're all lined up for qualifying. Let's see what's going to happen. As they make them out into the circuit now, it is very important to try and get in some good laps early on and get these Falken tires to work well. You've got to get into the top 6 for the Super Bowl shootout, which happens just after this. A lot of concentration, and the pit boards are out, telling the drivers where they stand. And it's going to be a tough ask here right now. Brad Liebenberg seems to be setting the pace. Look out for Jeff Kruger as he pulls in there as well. And Yuri Swart had a fantastic run. Let's see if they've made it up into that top 6. Kruger's definitely there. He's the first car out. So is Keegan Campos. He'll be right behind. And a good run from Brad Liebenberg sets him up for a possibility of going 2 for 2. 1 with the qualifying and 1 with Super Pole. Checkered flag comes out. Shorter looked very good as well. Matt Shorter coming across the line there, right in the closing stages. And a great effort once again from Brad Liebenberg. He puts it up and sets the Super Pole lap. Matt Shorter was up there as well, so was Keegan Campos. These guys are going to be working hard now for these 3 races here today. Let's catch up with our Super Pole man. Awesome job there, Brad. You've been half a second quicker the entire weekend. It looks like the rest of the field are going to have to try and find something special here in these 3 races, but nice start to the day.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty good start. Just have to keep it that way. It's a long day, there's 3 races, so plenty of time for things to go wrong, but at the same time, plenty of things to go right. Plenty of time for moves to be made and that. So, like I say, I'm looking forward to the rest of the day, but it's a good start.
Certainly is going to be a great finish. Join us after the break for more action now as we kick off with race number 1 from Aldo Scribante. Welcome back to Aldo Scribante for race 1 action now of the Falken Polo Cup. Brad Liebenberg's on pole position, but he's got 5 very, very strong contenders right on his tail. Let's see who can get down to turn 1 and maybe spoil his day. Let's have a look at that grid quickly with Brad Liebenberg and Keegan Campos making up the front row. It's going to be a tough ask for Jeff Kruger to come from 5th place. Matt Shorter's right there with him, and Machotsi right on their tail. Alton Bowe, Jason Campos, Dario Busi, and Clinton Mercedes. Then it's Darren Oates, Dion Creel, DeLon Thompson, and Jona van der Vesthuizen side by side. It's Rice Ismail and Shivi Bassoon, then Damian Hammond, and Johan Pretorius right at the back. Good welcome return for him. Nathan Hammond and Reiner van Heerden make up the final 2. This is the man they all want to catch. Brad Liebenberg has been fired up all weekend, and as I said earlier on, he's been half a second quicker than anybody else the entire day. Let's see if they've been able to find something now in between qualifying and this first heat to see if they can catch the man out front. Shorter seems fired up. We've got a green flag at the back. The lights are on. We're about to go racing. They go off. It's a good start there from the Hello Mobile car, and a fantastic start coming out of Keegan Campos, who tucks in behind him. Campos now trying to defend, and he's defending from Yuri Swart. Yuri Swart up the inside using a little bit of the dirt as well, and around the outside goes Jeff Kruger. So it's Yuri Swart and Jeff Kruger who just absolutely hound the man going into turn number 1 there, and Campos loses out, goes down to 4th place. Good start there from Dario Bussi as well, as he goes on the inside into the Schaeffler S's for the first time, looking for a way to squeeze through. The two shorter boys are almost line astern as they come out of the S's, with Machotzi on their tail and then Jason Campos. Alton Bow side by side with Dario Bussi. Then it's the first of the Total cars there. That looks like it might be Justin Oates. And it looks like he might have had a little coming together there with Alton Bow. The two of them are off in the background. We saw Rice Asmal going off as well through the Schaeffler S's. And as they come into the hairpin, you can see just how tight this field is. Campos trying to pull away from the two shorter boys. In fact, it's the Campos and shorter sandwich there. Behind them, it's Machotzi and Bussi. Then you've got a hard charge coming from Stian Kriel leading the second pack of cars. The Hammond boys in the Trinity security cars right on the tail end there. At the front end, though, Hello Mobile is trying to get away, and Brad Liebenberg is just trying to open up a bit of a margin and stay ahead of Jeff Kruger, who's sitting in second place. On his tail is Yuri Swart. You can see just how hard this is going to have to be. On board here with Alton Bow. There's a touch from Bussi. Bow gets out of shape. Oh, he gets completely out of shape, and there it is. Just being avoided by the Oates car. And I mentioned earlier on they might have come together. It was actually Bussi and Bow who came together. Here you can see from Justin Oates' point of view. Bussi comes across. Bow tries to avoid. A little tag there from Justin Oates, but he did have nowhere to go. And the two of them eventually continue on the track. But it's a long and hard climb now for Alton Bow in the Ferrado car, right from the back of the field. Yuri Swart at this stage has got ahead of Jeff Kruger, so we're up into second place. Kruger down to 3rd. Shorter's up to 4. This pack is just absolutely hauling around here. Delon Thompson ahead of Darren Oates. It looks like Justin Oates has had to slot in there as well after that little incident. Further back, Rainer van Heerden fighting hard there. You can see with Doc Pretorius. Jason Campos, we're on board with him as we go across the line to complete another lap. 4th gear, waiting for him to slot it up into 5th gear. He's looking in the rearview mirrors. He's concerned about somebody coming up on his tail, and it might be Machotzi. Yes, it is. Machotzi looks out, shows a wheel, but doesn't make a move just yet. Nice move here from Chris Shorter, also closing that gap down onto the back end of Campos. So there's hardly anything in it there at all between these guys. Good friends off track, remember, but arch rivals when it comes to the race formats that are going to be here for 3 races today. Shorter Campos, that's how they come through the big sweeper, heading up towards a very fast right-hander, one of the fastest right-handers in the world, never mind in South Africa. And you can see just how hard they're having to work these Polos and those Falken tires. Now on the hard on the brakes, up into the hairpin. Machotzi's closed things down. Stian Kriel's got a little bit away there from Delon Thompson, but that's because he's having to fend off the attack from Justin Oates. 3rd, 4th, and 5th coming through there, and right on the tail of Jeff Kruger, current championship leader, looking for a chance to close things down, but he doesn't seem to have an answer there to Brad Liebenberg's pace. Look at the gap that Liebenberg has got. Absolutely brilliantly done here from Brad Liebenberg. Yuri Swart having one of the best runs we've seen out of him, particularly here at Aldo Scribante. Justin Oates dives up the inside, finds a way through on Delon Thompson. Thompson opens up the door. Don't want to be doing that with Justin Oates on your tail. The Total man sneaks through ahead of the incredible Team Red racing car there of Delon Thompson. We're on board with him. It looks like Thompson just battling a little bit here to stay with the pace of that machine. And in fact, I think it might have been a missed gear coming out of Dunlop. As they came onto the main straight, he's lost out once again, not only to the Total car, but to the Glyco machine there of Clinton Mercedes. They head into the Schaeffler S's now. Look at how close this is. Brilliant stuff here. On board with Darren. And Darren Oates is just showing us how hard Delon is fighting back there. And he is definitely giving it everything he can. And a bit more as he goes off. Ooh, nearly clips the inside of Darren. Darren Oates very lucky to avoid the car coming back on there. But that was brilliant stuff, and a nice onboard there from Delon Thompson to show us just how close this racing is. Now they come under braking for Dunlop. This is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. And it's Jeff Kruger who's hanging on to the back end of Yuri Swart. Can he find a way past? Has he got enough push to passes to get ahead of Yuri Swart as they start the final lap? He goes across the line. He's pushed the pass button is engaged. He goes around the outside and he's timed it to perfection. With a lap to go, Jeff Kruger moves ahead in the Universal car. And it's unfortunate there for Yuri Swart. I think he's run out of push-to-pass mechanisms. Remember, the top 3 in the championship have 1 less than everybody else out there. So it's good planning and great strategy there from Jeff Kruger to hang on to 1 just to get him through to the final lap. Looks like Matt Shorter wants through as well. And Yuri's going to have to go defensive now for the last half of this lap. There's about 1.2 Ks to go as they head through the very fast hanger sweep. Look at the gap that Brad Liebenberg's pulled out, though. He's going to be a tough man to beat today. On the brakes, defensive driving from Kruger. Keeps out Swart. Swart does the same thing to keep out Shorter. Shorter's all over the back looking for a way through, but I don't think he's going to find it. The only opportunity to overtake now is if he goes around the outside here, and he's going to try it. That's amazing stuff from Matt Shorter. Can he hang on to that outside line? It'll be the inside line for Dunlop. And I'll wait and see if he's able to make it stick down into Dunlop corner as our leader goes through there for the final time and heads towards the checkered flag. Brad Liebenberg takes the first win of the day here He's going to be happy with that one. Hello Mobile wins out. Ahead of the Universal car of Jeff Kruger. Yuri Swart comes through for third place. Matt Shorter in the Munro car is in fourth with Keegan Campos just beating his brother for 5 and 6. What a great dice there as well from Dario Busi and Jason Campos making up the top 8. Bit of a dogfight out there, but one that I think you truly relished in. Just got mugged at the end.
Yeah, I was a bit too eager with the happy push to pass button in the beginning. I used one off the line. I was just a bit nervous because I messed up my start in Cape Town, but I didn't really need to because I went half on the grass. I wasted it, but it's all right, you know. But all in all, I mean, Jeffrey did a better job. He saved his push to pass, and he said to me, "Now you know what it feels like." So, so yeah, and Matt and I had a good fight. It's been a while since we've had that. So all in all, it was a good race. I can't really complain, and hopefully we can fetch Bradley in the next one.
Brad's dominance here at round 4 of the Falken Polo Cup continues. A great victory there for him. But the battle for second place was where it was all at. And we had 5 cars fighting for second. They're all now looking to maybe make that a battle for first and see if they can find something in between the 2 heats to see if they can get up to Brad and give him a run for his money. Let's head down onto the grid now and find out if these guys have got what it takes to take on Brad Liebenberg in the second race of Falken Polo Cup. Heading to the line now, Brad has got a big target on his back, but he's going to have to work even harder this time because these guys are fired up. They have seen where the chinks in their armor are. There's possibilities that they've done a few little, modifications to the cars that are going to allow them to maybe find that little edge to get them to the top end and maybe give Brad a run for his money down into turn 1. He's got a good start off the line though. Yuri Swart got a great start as well. Jeff Kruger coming from there from 6th place on the grid, and you can see the rest of this pack just starting to stream down there. Hammond on the inside looking for a way through early on. That's a great bit of driving there from one of our youngsters. Damien having a look on the inside into turn 1. It is Liebenberg, but a great start there from Clinton Besaidnote. He slots up into 2nd place. Watch out as the rest of this pack come through. Turn 1, it seems like it's 2 by 2 through turn 1. Then they have to go line astern into the S's, or do they? No, they don't. Ask Campos. He'll go side by side with Short if he has to. He comes up into the back end. Kruger's on his tail. Then you've got Theon Creel. Good start there from Creel. Much better from him. This time he's not leading the second pack. He's actually in the front pack, and that's where he needs to be. In the background, they go 2 by 2 through hanger sweep. That's going to be a tough ask, and you have to have big cojones to do that one. Now on the brakes, Dario Busi up the inside of Delon Thompson. Very tight. Busi gives him a little tap again. That's 2 of them. Oh, there might be a little retribution there. Dario Busi looks in the rearview mirror and waits for it. He knows that there's going to be something up coming from Delon Thompson in the second of the Universal Healthcare cars. Up into Dunlop now for the first time. Theon Creel on the back end of Campos. This is a great start there from the Motormark man, and a much better run there from Justin Oates. He's right behind Theon Creel as they come to complete lap number 1. Behind that, Busi, Delon Thompson, Machotsi not with a good start. He's battling a little bit further down, a lot further down than what he'd normally be. We're on board here with Nathan Hammond as they head down. Look at this. This is a great shot. That's how hard he's working at the wheel as they come down towards turn 1. Let's watch him on the gears as he goes down there, breaking through and coming up to a possibility of a top 15 finish. Nice dive on the inside there. I think that was Busi trying to find another way through. Has he been able to make it stick? No, he hasn't. He tucks in behind Oates. Delon Thompson. He's watching in these rearview mirrors, but there's a big battle behind him. This is the battle. Jona van der Westhuizen diving on the inside and trying to find a way through on Machotsi. He's got past. So Jona van der Westhuizen, the third of those Universal Team Red cars, have made their way up and get through on Machotsi. Let's have confirmation of that as they come in there. Yes, there you go. There goes Delon Thompson. Machotsi's come back at him though. Oh, and look at this in the background. So tight. This is fantastic racing. Chris Shorter a bit further up there going side by side with Oates. And he's got Hammond on his tail. Shorter a bit further back. And that's definitely not where that Signature Motorsport car usually contends. Have a look at this. Jason Campos' point of view. Shorter gives him a little, not a lot of room being given there. And a little bit of tapping between the two of them as they come through. Jay will be saying to himself, hang on a second, what went wrong there? Have a look at it from Darren Oates' point of view as well. There you go. Campos and Shorter's little tag and a second tag now as they come out of the hairpin. Thanks very much for that one, Darren. Great camera work. Now heading back down towards turn 1. Matt Shorter. Looks like he's gone for a push to pass and he's got through. Yes, he has. Great stuff there and ahead of Yuri Swart. So Shorter up to 2nd. He had a fantastic outing, remember, down in Cape Town and was just unfortunate with that technical infringement that cost him the 2 pole positions that he needed. It was a very good possibility he would have been at the front end and winning. And he's looking to do the same thing now. Maybe he's the only man who can catch Brad Liebenberg out front. And now that he's there, I think we're going to see a big charge from him and Yuri Swart. Jeff Kruger trying to bridge that gap between those 2 cars and himself. And along for the ride comes Justin Oates. On the brakes down into the hairpin now. Clarko car is under massive pressure and Keegan Campos wants by. So does Oates. Oh, problems for Icemile again. Second mistake on the day there for Ice, but remember, it's still his rookie year. So he's getting to grips with the car, getting to grips with the series. Just going a little bit too hot there. You can see he loses the back and it slides all the way around into the S's, right in front of the Volkswagen Motorsport Boma. Steaming bean machine of Chevy Bassoon is steaming off the circuit, not where you want to be. So both of the youngsters there just getting it a little bit out of shape. Now coming into Dunlop once again, Besaidnote keeps the defensive driving to fend off the attack coming from Oates. Jeff Kruger, has he got a push to pass? Let's have a look and see, can he make this one stick? Yuri Swart will be well aware of his push to pass mechanism, and has he got enough of them? As they come flying up onto the braking markers, he's looking for a way through, but he's not close enough. And the reason being, he also had to go a little bit defensive there on Campos as they start the final lap. Besaidnote is right on Campos's tail. Much better drive here from Besaidnote. Look at Matt Shorter. Matt Shorter will be praying for maybe 1 or 2 more laps, but unfortunately they're on to the final one, and he's not going to have enough to catch Brad Liebenberg. The battle is for third, though. It's not over there. Yuri Swart trying to fend off Jeff Kruger and Campos. Besaidnote waiting to pick up the pieces. Oh, great shot there. Super line from Keegan Campos as well. Very smooth driving, gets down the gearbox. Trying to go up the inside. No, he's not close enough. I think I heard Pepper shouting from the sideline, telling him to get up the inside, but he was on the wrong line there going into the hairpin. Now as they come out, can he get the good drive? Can he try the outside line that we saw from Shorter earlier on? Will that work? No, they're all line astern. No one's going to go for anything here this late in the race. They just want to survive. Jason Campos might try something though. He's a bit further down than what he liked, and a lot further down than what he was in the first one. Liebenberg coming through to make it 2 out of 2. This is the almost perfect day here for Brad Liebenberg. Hello Mobile going to be taking a second victory ahead of the Munro car there of Matt Shorter. A fantastic dice for third place though, eventually ended up in the hands of Yuri Swart. And Yuri Swart in the Autohaus Alpine car will be very happy with that. So confirmation of the results. Once again, Brad Liebenberg at the top ahead of Matt Shorter. It's Yuri Swart and Jeff Kruger 3 and 4, with Keegan Campos beating out Clinton Besaidnote. Justin Oates in the top 7 this time, and Dario Bussi, great job from him, moves up to 8th. Eddie looks like the only one who could really show anywhere near the pace of Brad, but I think a little bit more tinkering from the team could get you up there.
No, look, the team's done an excellent job, giving me an amazing car out there. But yeah, I think we could still maybe squeeze a little bit out of the car for race 3. We've got a good starting position, starting P4 again, so yeah, going to go forward from here.
We're looking forward to see what's going to happen in race number 3 now, with Matt looking for that additional pace. Hopefully he can find it and give Brad a run for his money into the final heat, and that's exactly what we're going to see right after the break. Join us for all the action. Welcome back to Aldo Scribante and round 4 action from the Falken Polo Cup. A great 2 races so far, and intense work in the pits now to try and find that little edge to possibly give each of their team and their drivers a chance to take a victory here and maybe beat Brad Liebenberg for the very first time. But before we go out onto the track to do some more racing, the Polo Cup Brigade made its way down into the Schaeffler S's to join Volkswagen Motorsport outside their Boma and some interaction with the crowd. These people down in PE absolutely love getting up close and personal with their favorite drivers and getting a chance to meet them, get some merchandise, and get some signatures before they go racing proper here for race number 3. Come to the line, it's going to be time to get those Falken Polo tires warmed up as much as they can. Liebenberg wants another victory. 3 out of 3 will be an absolutely amazing day for him. But man, these guys are all looking forward to showing him that he's not that perfect. They've got to find a way past early on, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Machotzi gets a good start. He tucks in behind Chris Shorter and Matt Shorter. Round the outside. Oh, is that Jeff Kruger? Yes, it was. Jeff Kruger using a push to pass early on to get ahead of Matt Shorter and Chris Shorter down into turn 1. Is that enough to get him to 3rd place? Yes, it is. He came from 7th on the grid up into 3rd place. That's a great start there from our championship leader. Side by side, Campos has got Bussi on his inside. Keegan Campos looking for a chance now to keep him out. Oh, and running wide. Oh, a little touch between Shorter and Oates. Shorter slides into the Schaeffler S's. I don't think he hit the wall. No, he was just able to avoid the wall. He comes across the grass and tucks in at the back of the field, just behind Rice Ismail, and in fact, just ahead of Doc Pretorius. The 4th of those Universal cars had to take evasive action as Shorter came back on track. We go back up into the hairpin now, and look at this. Oh, we got somebody out in front. That's not Brad Liebenberg. Yes, hallelujah, it has happened. It's Yuri Swart. He's found a way through on his karting rival. That's a rivalry that's been going for a long, long time, and I don't think Yuri Swart is going to give that up that easily to Brad Liebenberg. Remember, he'll have 1 additional push to pass, as opposed to the championship leaders there, 1, 2, and 3 coming into this round, which was, of course, Jeff Kruger, Brad Liebenberg and Chris Shorter. They've only got 1 less push to pass to play with. Here's a replay. Justin Oates coming through, heading into... Oh, and that's the tag. He goes flying across the Schaeffler S's. And he hits the tyre barrier. That could be the end of the race here. Have a look at it from Jason Campos's point of view. Oh, I don't know about that. Hey, Justin came across on Matt Shorter. Shorter tipped the back end of him, and the two of them went sliding into the S's. I know that Shorter got back on, but I don't think Oates was able to. Kruger now fending off the attack coming from the back end. In fact, Kruger has moved up ahead of the Hello Mobile car. So two cars have got ahead of Brad Liebenberg now for the first time. Has he got enough to fend off the attack there from his closest championship rival? In fact, if Brad Liebenberg wins this race, there's a very good possibility that going into the next round, they are going to be on equal points. That's how tight this championship is. Liebenberg pushing the pressure and applying massive amounts of it on the back end of Kruger. Kruger will soak that up. Look in the rearview mirror on the right-hand side. Watch for that blue car coming through. He's got to push the pass. He uses it. And Liebenberg gets through. Now, Jeff Kruger will try and stay with him. Look at that. Yuri Swart is making hay while the sun shines, trying to get away from this little battle. Remember, he wants to close things down in the championship and become one of those rivals for this overall championship for 2019. If he keeps going the way he's going right now, there's a very good possibility that could happen. Chris Shorter's just behind them, a multiple champion in his own right, and of course an ex-champion in Polos. So we've got a championship battle of note up front here. Two ex-karting champions fighting hard. The current champion in this class, he's in the mix. And Keegan Campos, last year, doing an incredible job. This year, getting better and better every time he gets behind the wheel, closing things down now on this first five. And he is the fifth car in that battle. Behind him, it's Machotsi. Better start there from Jono. I did mention earlier on that he's a man to watch out for, particularly here at Aldo, the home track of Volkswagen Motorsport. And here on the Volkswagen race day, he definitely wants to shine and fly the flag high. Further back, Matt Shorter making up ground now, ahead of Rainer van Heerden in the Hot Wheels car. Coming up on the outside, looking for a way through on Doc Pretorius. This is Van Heerden's point of view as there's Shorter diving on the inside. Has he got enough room? Oh, this is a difficult corner to make at this time of the day. You can see almost sunset-esque at Kyalami with that sun right in your eyes as you get onto the turning point. You come out of the apex and the sun disappears and then you head down towards this corner. Very difficult, especially when you've got so many Polos heading into the same spot and looking for the same amount of track to play with. Shorter all over the back of Campos. Oh, it's very close. These two are going to be going at it big time. Keegan knows that Chris Shorter's right on his tail. He's not going to give that up for no love or money. As they come through Hanger, you can see he's hanging on. He actually gets a little bit of a better drive out of Hanger. Here comes Liebenberg for the lead though. Oh, he dives on the inside of Yuri. Yuri opens up the door, gives him a little bit of room to play, but it might be to his detriment. This is going to be Brad Liebenberg around the outside of Chevy Sweep, and this is incredible. He keeps it on the outside. The Hello Mobile car is going to have the inside line now for Dunlop as they get up onto the braking markers. Watch this. Liebenberg has timed this to perfection. He dives on the inside and gets through on Swat. Wow, that is top quality racing. Two karters knowing that they've got enough space to play, they'll give each other enough room to play, and they get through unscathed. Top class stuff here. Look at this as well. Matt Shorter making up a lot of ground. Has he been able to get up into the top 10? No, he hasn't. But he might just be able to get into the top 15 and still score points. He's got to get through on Asmal. Asmal goes defensive. Rice Asmal going on the inside line, but Shorter's got to push the pass left and goes flying past the rookie. Liebenberg's opened up a big advantage now, and it doesn't look like there's any answer coming out of Yuri Swart. He's going to try and hang on for second. I wonder if Jeff Kruger's got one more push to pass left. If he has, Yuri Swart could be in trouble again. But I'm sure that Yuri will be well aware of what he needs to do to keep out Kruger if he has got one left. The checkered flag is on standby though, so it doesn't really matter. As they come up onto the final corner, Dunlop corner, they come out there and it's 3 out of 3 for Brad Liebenberg. That is going to move him on to equal points there with Jeff Kruger for this championship. What a drive and what a day for Brad Liebenberg. Swart in second, Kruger in third. What an incredible race day here for the Falken Polo Cup. One of the best races we've seen in a long, long time there. Brad Liebenberg taking 3 for 3 ahead of Yuri Swart in the Alpine Autohaus car, beating out Jeff Kruger from Universal Healthcare. Chris Shorter in Signature Motorsports Machine in 4th, with Machotsi, Campos, Busi, and Jason Campos in 8th. Brad, it's the perfect weekend for you, buddy. You haven't really been outgunned at all, other than maybe 3 laps in that one by Umpy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the best of start. My finger actually slipped off the push to pass button, and by then Yuri was already coming past me, and then he just put me into turn 1. I thought, let me just fold him behind him. We'll see what we could do during the race. But then Jeff came past me on a push to pass, but I knew that he had one less than everybody else, like myself and Chris and I think Clinton. And so I just bided my time, and then popped past him on a push to pass, went hunting for Yuri, managed to get past him on a push to pass, and then I pulled out a little bit of a gap, and he did come back a little bit with one push to pass that he had left. But I managed to, fend it off and pulled away again, and got 3 out of 3 for the day.
2 out of 2 right for me on the championship points. Equal points for Kruger and Liebenberg heading into the next round. And Yuri Swart bumping himself up into 3rd place and dropping shorter out of the top 3. The side note there in 5th place is a man to watch out for as well. And keep an eye on Campos's and Machotsi. So it looks like this is turning into a 2-horse race here, with Jeff Kruger being closed down rapidly with a triple win by Brad Liebenberg. But this is Falken Polo Cup, and you never know who's going to come from behind and spoil your day. The next round, of course, happens at Swartkops on the 27th of July. And we go from the Volkswagen race day here at Aldo Scribante up towards Gauteng for the next round of this championship. And man alive, are the sponsors behind this one happy they came on board. We'll see you at Swartkops. All this Polo Cup action is proudly brought to you by Falken Tires and Volkswagen Motorsport.